Hello everyone, this is the Kitsune Hawk, and welcome back to Let's Play 80 Days. In the last part, we had another poll. We got all the way to Venice, and 6 different paths opened up to us, so that was quite a bit. I had a poll to decide on our next location, and in the end, it came down to a tiebreaker, but we're going to Rome, folks. So can we... Ooh. That is very expensive. We're gonna have to, we can definitely stay another night in Venice while we wait on our carriage to Rome. I was walking along a canal side in Venice when I found myself in the midst of a group of revelers. They wore a fabulous array of masks, some beak-nosed, others brightly feathered, and even some spun of fine, glittering wire. I bowed in greeting and gave them such a surprise that one tripped, turned, and then tumbled into the canal. Her friends seemed drunkenly unconcerned and fell about in pealing laughter as the woman cursed and thrashed in the water. "Will you not help her?" I demanded. "She is your friend." One of the revelers, I don't know why I misread that as travelers, wiped her eyes. "Fiammetta enjoys an occasional dip in the canal, especially when she drinks." Another drunken youth agreed. "It's the only time when she bathes." Fiammetta had dragged herself over to a flight of steps and hauled herself up. It was indeed the same Fiammetta I had encountered on the canals earlier. It was clear that she recognized me as well. "My good friend," she exclaimed. "Good evening," I returned. "This," she declared, turning to her friends, "is the French gentleman who occupied me all this afternoon." They burst into laughter. I bowed handsomely. "Come drink with us," she gestured for me to come closer. Lady, we don't have time for that. I gotta leave to Rome." I took my leave gracefully, shaking my head. I must return to my master. "Run away, then," Fiammetta called drunkenly as I hurried into a side street. "And be careful. Venice is a treacherous place to be made of flesh and blood these days. Your character is now polished. We have a personality. This makes us, I think... It helps us negotiate better with certain people when we go to the converse option. I'm not too sure on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it does. No matter. Thrivet Thick Steam Carriage, okay. That's a name. We're on our way to Rome. There was a regular service shuttling people from Venice to Rome, though we saw at the ranks where people were queued to board where there were actually 2 services, one open and one concealed by a screen. I did not want trouble, so I left the screened area unexplored. The carriage for people came and filled up and whisked us away from the water and into the mountains. Alright, let's start conversations. "Greetings, Monsieur le Chauffeur." "Yes, my friend?" "I'm very interested in Rome." "Hardly so. Excuse me? Roman Empire? You seem to know nothing about the Roman Empire. Can we, Tunis. Can we get to Tunis from Rome?" "Surely not." "Can we get to Alexandria from Rome?" "Never mind that. You can buy handheld mirrors in Alexandria. Extremely valuable in Suez." "Where the hell can we go from Rome, then?" "We can't go to Africa, it looks like." The journey was uneventful, and I spent it resting. "I would imagine the Italian countryside is pretty damn beautiful." Alright, let's market. Let's see here. That's not too bad. No, I can actually get a small return on the, items I bought a while back. Okay, Zeotrope, that's actually pretty cheap, and it's worth quite a bit in Cairo and Izmir. We might be going that way soon, so I'm gonna take a risk and buy the Zoetrope. I think that's how that's pronounced. Let's explore Rome. I like the Colosseum in the background. We can go to Dubrovnik, or we can go to Athens. So we for those of you people who voted on Twitter wanting to go to Dubrovnik and Athens, you get another chance to vote. I was tossing a coin into the waters of the Trevi Fountain when Bersaglieri marched into the square. I'm trying to switch between Italian and English, and it's not very easy. With her distinctive fast jogging began rounding everyone up. Their uniform struck me as idiotic. White trousers, spats, and a wide-brimmed cap decorated with a fall of gleaming I have never seen that word in my life. In my contemplation, I lost any chance to slip away. No matter, there were too many of them to avoid. A lanky man with only the sparse beginnings of a mustache gestured at me with his rifle. No, in fact, his entire arm was a rifle, attached to his shoulder with iron bands inlaid with elaborate symbols. I looked up at his eyes. One of them was a clear light blue, and that, Max, you just snuck your way into my videos again. You have a very interesting habit of doing that. One of them was a clear light blue, the other covered with a leather eye patch mounted with a telescopic brass monocle. The other Bersaglieri soldiers sported similar modifications to their bodies. They were half man, half automaton. Come si chiama? The blue-eyed soldier barked. I opened my mouth to reply when someone jostled me from behind, and I turned to see a figure in gray reaching into their pocket, and then tossing out a grenade! I am no fool. I ran for my life. It is the Zouave, an equally fleet-footed woman declared. They hate the Scuola for what they have done to the young people. Fiammetta had mentioned the Zouave and their fight against the Scuola. Though I had known she was a wild type, I had not considered her the sort to cause explosions. Clearly their cause was deadly serious, and as I looked back at the soldiers with their strange modifications, I could see why. As I slowed to a walk and then made my way back to Monsieur Fogg, I kept my eyes down and did not look at the people, not wanting to see what had been done to them in the name of progress. Perhaps Rome is the future? I confess, I do not know. Okay, where can we get to from... we only have two choices. We could go to Dubrovnik, or we could go to Athens. Since there's only two choices here, I'm gonna make the decision. We have Athens leaving at Monday, and we have Dubrovnik arriving at tomorrow. I'm going to pick Athens, because I think we're going to get a lot more choices if we pick Athens, and in the long run, I want more choices for you all. So, with what remained of the day, I helped the kitchen staff to clean, earning £42 in fees and tips, as well as discovering from him that the most efficient way to Budapest is via Venice. Most intriguing. Your funds have gone up a little bit. Alright, so let's head on to Athens, on the Icarus. We might not want to sail too close to the sea, or not close to the sun! I tried to make a Greek mythology reference and I killed it immediately. I am ashamed of myself. We boarded a commercial passenger airship in one of Rome's many docks. The stowing of luggage was handled by lines of figures with hooks and extendable poles fitted to their arms. I watched with an acrobat's interest as they flung cases to one another, swung in and out of the cargo hold, moving about like monkeys. They were cheerful types, full of raucous humor, and efficient, for we were all within the cabin of the craft within a few hours, and the ship itself was tugging at its docking ropes after an hour or so more. See, this is why I can't read ebooks. I have to double-check everything for whatever reason. I'm at your service, Monsieur Fogg. Passepartout? Money. This journey will be most expensive, monsieur. Indeed, but we can earn a little from buying and selling our possessions as we travel. How are you feeling, monsieur? I'm in roaring health, but we must make haste. Very good. More games need a very good button. The trip was long and somewhat slow. Monsieur Fogg was quite indifferent to it all. He peered through the window and nodded. Onwards and upwards, he declared. The airship crossed Italy, and we were approached by one of the cabin staff, a middle-aged lady whose serving tray was jointed to her left hip. Coffee, she asked, or would you prefer a pressé? Isn't there no wine? I asked, and the lady smiled. Of course, sir, she replied, and sashayed away to the aisle, returning a moment later with a deep glass of Merlot. I thanked her and toasted to the benefits of first-class travel. Your relationship with Fogg has strengthened slightly. Yes, I'm very okay with this. Scuola raids anti-automaton rebel hideouts. So yeah, you can also check the news on your way around the world, and it's usually just some headline that's related to where you were last. I honestly don't really use it as I don't know if there's any real purpose to it, other than maybe, like, recapping if you came back to the game after a while, but, the Aegean, I'm gonna assume that AE is pronounced like an E. Aegean below sparkled like a diamond-covered cloth. Even from its great height, we can see the ferry boats plying their trade back and forth across the water, and I just heard my dog bark, because I can't noise-proof my damn house for anything. So, will airships remove the need for sea travel? I mused to the man next to me, who clearly could not hear my dog, a short Greek fellow with thick spectacles, who tutted with concern. I hope not, he answered, since boats are my livelihood. Putting out his hand, he introduced himself as Dimitri Sophos, owner of a shipping freight company that ran goods between Greece and North Africa. I was on such a roll and I ruined it. I inquired into departures, and he was happy to provide me with a pamphlet outlining the routes and timings. The one of most interest was a sailing to Cairo, which was leaving tomorrow. I took it to my master directly, and he nodded with deep satisfaction. Yes, that would certainly be a possibility, he declared, and then reclined back, happy to sleep until we docked. Alright, so we have a route from Athens all the way to freaking Alexandria and Cairo. Thessaloniki! We're not going to Thessaloniki, I don't think. Antalya, Beirut. Hey, I can pronounce things like I'm from New York. So let's explore Athens. Izmir. Okay, we can go to Izmir. My master was not, as a rule, particularly interested in the fabulous locales and exotic cities we journeyed through. Athens was the exception that proved the rule. His sudden interest was not limited in the city. He fixed me with a look. Do you speak Greek? I did, though I will not go into the circumstances of how I came to learn the tongue here. Mais oui, monsieur. I smiled sharply, repeating a few of the phrases I had, shall we say, picked up. Monsieur Fogg blushed vermilion. That, Passepartout, is a very specialized vocabulary. Despite my master's grasp of ancient Greek, the demonic variant more commonly spoken on the streets eluded him. We were reduced to asking directions through a combination of moi, apposite quotations from Homer, my master, and half-remembered flattery, mon encore. We picked up our way through the labyrinthine streets of the Plaka? And up to the Acropolis. I gazed at the Parthenon's columns. It was a magnificent sight, even in the ruins. I could only imagine how it must have looked 2,000 years ago, the jewel in the crown of the Athenian Empire. We observed in silence. I felt no need to put any words to the Parthenon's wonder, and Monsieur Fogg quite clearly shared my feelings. Oh, whoa! We can actually sell that for a good bit of money! Yes! Whoa, this is worth a lot of money in Sarıtsin. I don't think we're going to Sarıtsin, so I'm not gonna buy it. I'm learning now. I'm learning now, guys, not to buy everything. So, time for vote. Are we going to Izmir? Or are we going to Cairo? So I'm gonna put up a poll now. Oh no, we could go to Meteora Valley? Or Thessaloniki. Okay, we got 4 choices. So I'm going to put up a poll for you. We have 4 choices now, so we could go deeper into Greece, we could go to Turkey, or we could move on to a whole nother continent. This is really exciting. I really... Like, we're getting, we got more votes with the last poll, so I'm really interested in seeing how this one turns out, because we have the possibility of actually going to another continent. 2, actually, if we count Turkey, so... Yes, as always, I'm going to put a link to the Twitter poll in the description of this video. You can vote on both YouTube and Twitter, so make your choice very well known if you really want me to go there. As always, this is the Kitsune, signing out.